Tennessee. I'm at a pilot, and yeah, not much to see here. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Yep. Not much scenery, but Tennessee has actually been beautiful driving through it. And it's really humid here, and another kind of overcast, rainy day. So yesterday, woke up extra early, was gonna get on the road by 7, got everything set, got my coffee, sat down, and went to start the van, and Charlene did not start because I forgot that I had put my power pack, plugged it into the dashboard, and yeah, so the battery was dead. So I just took a shower, and it's really humid here, so my hair is frizzy. But anyway, squirrel. So I went into Love's and asked if they had somebody who could jump me, and he said it would be a while. So I was sitting here, and I'm going to show you best investment. I bought these at Walmart for, I don't know, like 30 bucks or something like that. It's like a kit, and it has jumper cables in there, and I didn't have jumper cables my first year, and I never had to worry about it. But good thing I bought them this year, because yeah, I've needed them. And so a guy had pulled up in a truck, and I asked him if he could jump me. He's like, well, I don't have cables. And I'm like, well, I do. And so he jumped me, and yeah, I was on the road. But then it set me back, so I drove for 2.5 hours, and then my power pack was dead. So I stopped at a Love's and went into the Subway, charged my power pack, worked for 4 hours, ate something while I was there, and then got back on the road, and then got to Tennessee at about 6 o'clock. So I was tired last night. So yeah, so I literally was asleep by like 8:30. And then I got up this morning. It's going to be a short day for me. I'm going to drive about 3 hours, and then I'm going to settle in, work for 4, and then just stay where I am. Because yeah, that was a lot yesterday. That was really draining. So I'm going to get on the road, got my coffee, and I'll check in soon. See where we're at. So holy crap. Didn't expect this. You won't believe where I'm at. So I just stopped to get a soda, and this guy Bobby, I was pulling out, and he came up to me, and he's like, oh, I love your van. And then we stopped to talk, and I said, yeah, I'm headed to Missouri, because I'm in Kentucky. Oh, I think I'm in Missouri right now. Who knows where I am. But he's like, yeah, you should take the ferry, it saves you like an hour. And I'm like, yeah, I've never been on a ferry, you know, I'm just traveling through. Well, so my GPS is taking me somewhere, and guess where it took me? To the ferry. I'm going to show you something. So this is where I ended up, and there's a sign I'm pulled forward, but yeah. Here, I'll back up so you can see the sign. Nobody behind me. So thank goodness there was a guy there. Do you see? Sorry, it's getting blurry. You can pull onto there, and there was a guy there, so it says wait for the ferry, and then it says there. So thank goodness there was a guy in his truck, and he was about to leave, and I waved him down, and I told him the situation, and he was just here to bring some parts, but he said that the ferry is closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Oh, I got a hair in my eye. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And so thank goodness I ran into him, because I was like, ooh, this will be an adventure. I'll go on the ferry. No, denied. Not going on the ferry. So now I have to kind of readjust. He said to take the 51 to Illinois and then take a left on something. I don't know. And that bridge is closed. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get there. But so now I have to rearrange. This is van life. How glamorous is it? So now I have to figure out how to get to where I'm going. I don't even know how. I don't even know what to put in the GPS anymore. So, okay, I'm gonna go figure it out, and then I'll catch you when I do. Okay. So I just turned around to figure out where I need to go, and yeah, I'm in Kentucky. Welcome to Kentucky. Oh, and that's my new car per ride, this has been a really big help. But I have a review on that coming up. So, okay, let's figure this out. Okay. I left you, I think I left you at the ferry. Boy, can a lot happen in a short amount of time. So, okay, the ferry was closed. So then I start driving and I pull over and I look at the map because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to reroute. So I picked Paducah, Illinois, and that's where I am now. But I started driving and I was in Kentucky, and not just Kentucky, but like the back roads of Kentucky. And a lot of those roads are really narrow, and the people like don't want to move over on the other side. And then on the other side, there's no shoulder, and then there's just like a ditch, hill. So I'm driving, and I'm like, okay, all gonna be good. And it was only supposed to be just a real casual 3-hour drive today. I was gonna get here where I was going by 11:30. And then one of my bosses, there's 2 of them, their brothers, is gone on vacation. And so I'm like, oh good, I'll start early and I'll help Rob, that's my other boss. And so I'm driving, still was gonna be here about the same time that I would have been at the other place. And then a road was closed, 307. And there was no like detour sign or anything. And so I just had to go left and then just keep going, and then the GPS rerouted me. And it's super windy here today, and I know there's like tornadoes and stuff going on and just weird weather everywhere. And you know, in the van, when it's windy, like it moves. And so so I rerouted, got here. I've never been so happy to see a pilot. And so I pull in, and it was literally like 12:25, and I usually start at 12:30 work, and they're really flexible. Yesterday I started early and then drove again. But but I knew Rob was by himself today, so I quick said, okay, I'll be on in 10 minutes. And so I quick ran in the back of the van, got on, and now it's just like 4:45. So I finished my work, and it's super, super windy here. And so, yeah. Hashtag van life, huh? And then another thing happened. This happened Friday, but I've been so busy I haven't had time to really process it. I talked about her in a video not long ago about my friend Chelsea. And she's only like 32, 34, early 30s. And she was super healthy, known her, been on shoots with her, just this happy girl. And I was so in awe of her because she wanted to be an actress and in production and a director and everything else. And she took all these jobs, and she did everything to be in the industry. And you know, you don't make a lot of money in the industry, especially, well, you just don't get that many jobs. Maybe a job pays well, but you don't get that many of them that you can really make a living at it. But she did all different types of jobs so that she could make a living. And she found out not long ago, maybe, well, it's less than 2 years, that she has had stiff person syndrome, and that's what Celine Dion has now. And she had a bunch of other things that went with it. She had POTS. She had all these other things, and she's been fighting to try and find an answer, just some relief and somebody to help her. And I was just reading her final. She had a carrying bridge, and they updated, and she passed away on Friday. And she's been in so much pain. She had a feeding tube, and then they couldn't feed her because nothing would go through the tube, and there was just a lot of people that wouldn't help her, or maybe didn't know how, dropped the ball. And she was just, and then she was advocating for people like her. So she did everything she could. She had a TikTok to advocate for people like her looking for answers. And she basically died in pain. And she basically starved to death. She had reached out on Facebook asking anyone if they knew of anybody that could help, and I posted, because I mean, I kind of have a big outreach, just people I know all over, and just asking if anybody could help her or knew of anybody who could help her, because she couldn't travel. She couldn't even go to normal doctor's appointments because she couldn't sit up. And then her mom had to be the caretaker. And then at the end, they were trying to get her in hospice or palliative care, and they wouldn't even, they dropped the ball there and nobody would do it. I guess she was accepted not long ago, and then somehow they took it back. And you know how insurance is. And I'll show you, I'm going to show you pictures of Chelsea right here. And so, you know, I was thinking about as I was driving, like the freedom that I'm feeling now, even with all the things that happened to me. Like, I'm still able, you know I could, something happened to the van, I could call somebody, you know, I could get it taken care of. And I think about, you know, the rest of my family who was in pain in hospice, and it's painful to watch somebody you love in pain. And I think about her mom and her family, and they did everything they could. They jumped through hoops. They did everything they could to try and get someone to help her. And I think now, like, how free she is from that, from like this earthly body. And you know, that was one of the things too, is that you know, for a long time I felt trapped because doing the 9 to 5 and just, I don't know the answer, and believe me, I think about these things as I'm driving constantly. I don't have any answers, but just the way our society is set up, and listen, this is not political, so don't make it that, and I'll delete any comments below that have anything to do with that, because this is about people. It's not about an ideology. And that we're grown up to think that, like, you know, material stuff, like, you'll just be happy if you get this, or if you just get a house, or if you just have more clothes, or if you just do this. And then, you know, we have to work our 9 to 5s, which most of us don't have options, because first of all, that's how you get insurance, because nobody can afford insurance without a 9 to 5, because I don't even know what I'm going to do once after Jesse's out of college. Because like I said, I get a little help now because I have a credit, because I'm a single mom, and, you know, her dad doesn't help. And he's a freaking millionaire. But she's still under insurance until she's 26, which is good. And just, we can never feel free. And so I think that's why, like, I was just like, chuck it, you know? Just gonna sell everything. And, you know, now even living in a van, like, you can't afford rent. And now they're making it harder to be able to park and stuff like that. So they give you no options. So, believe me, I think all I do is think when I'm driving. Hours and hours and hours of thinking. And I just hope that that sometime in your physical earthly body, because listen, money is freedom if you have enough money. I mean, it brings its own problems, but, and a lot of people use their money as power. I live it, to control other people. So I just wish for you, because you know, when you die, my brother-in-law was very wealthy. He was the smartest man ever that I know personally. And but you know, when you have a tumor, you know, he had it here, and they operated, and then they said he had 5 more years. Well, then he had one around his carotid artery, and even though he was rich and could have afforded, like, flown somewhere and afforded the top surgeon ever, nobody would operate on him because they said that he would pretty much probably die on the operating table. So even money can't save you sometimes. So I hope if you have money that you do it for good and you don't do it to control other people. And I don't know if you know, I actually ran for city council. My resume is like 10 pages long, because I thought I could make a difference in where I lived. And when I found out just from running at that low level, as that it's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's about, yeah, I thought I could go in and help, but I wouldn't have been able to help anyway. And I was so happy I didn't win after I realized what it was really about. But I hope you feel freedom at some point in this earthly sphere. Because if you don't do it now, hopefully you're gonna feel it when you leave here. I'm hoping there's something better on the other side. I always think to myself, you know, I grew up Catholic. I think that this is purgatory. And hopefully we're just waiting to be rewarded on the other side. So, okay. I still got work to do, and I gotta go in. There's a Subway here, and I'm going to charge my thing. I'm cleaning the van, and I have to figure out where I'm headed tomorrow. Okay. I'll see you then. Change of plans. I'm gonna end it here. I went into the pilot, and they actually don't have a dumping station here, and they don't have propane. They have the fillable, like the tanks, but mine you have to put in like you put gas in. So I'll have to do that at the next stop. So, and they don't have, the Subway is just actually in it. So like yesterday where I could sit down and plug in my power pack, that'll have to wait till tomorrow too. And I still don't know where I'm going. So that's up next. Okay. You know what to do. Go out and make an adventure. Go feel free somehow. It doesn't have to be a big adventure. It can be a small adventure. And go call someone you love. And as Joy says, tell them that you love them. And I'll tell you quick for the new people how that came about. Don't forget your magic. Is I was in Sedona at my girlfriend Donna's, and she brought me to her church, and it's based off of the Course in Miracles, if you know what that is. And you know, I was just kind of sitting there looking down and whatever and listening. And then he said, the one thing we forgot is that we're magic. And all of a sudden, it was like I was there and that's what I was meant to hear. And so then after that, I started ending, and I don't even know how the other stuff came about. I just started saying go out and make an adventure. And then, you know, I was talking to Joy and we said that, go call someone you love. And she said, don't forget to tell them you love them. And then I said, don't you dare forget your magic. Because you are. Let that sink in. Definitely magic. Okay. I will see you in the next one.